Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
So yesterday we discussed about the points regarding what makes an election democratic. We discussed a few points, 5 points we discussed. Then we discussed what are the disadvantages of political competition. Okay, so these are the two main topics we discussed. I want you to just tell those particular points. What all point will come under the topic how the elections can be, when we can call the election as a democratic one. Few points we discussed. What are they? Tom, can you start?
Everyone should be able to choose.
Yes, everyone should be able to choose. That is one important point which considers election. When we are considering elections, everyone, if they are getting the right to vote, we can say that that is a democratic one. But not only this point, there are various other points also. Anantita, second point.
There should be something to choose from.
Something to choose from, in the sense there should be different political parties, there should be different people standing for election. From that, there they should have a chance to choose. I mean, best person. Lynette, third point.
Everyone should have one vote and each vote should have equal value.
Yes, everyone should have one vote. Each vote should have equal value. This is the another point we can, which we discussed related to elections, how elections, when we are conducting elections, how it is democratic. That is the one. And the next one, Adikesh.
And the choice should be offered at a regular interval.
Yes, regular interval. I mean, elections, whenever we are contesting or whenever we are conducting, there should be regular interval for that. Once you conduct the election, we should cannot finish it off. It should be conducted regularly. Okay, Surya, next point.
Elections should be conducted in a free and fair manner.
Yes, elections should be conducted in a free and fair manner. Then only that will be, that can be called as a democratic one. Adlio, another point.
The elector chosen by the people should get elected. I mean,
Yeah,
the
that means that
representatives will be.
preferred elected candidate should come there for ruling. So those who are getting highest vote, they are the preferred ones. So then we can say that elections are based on a democratic principle. Then we discussed some disadvantages related to political competition. Hira, can you say what are the disadvantages?
Ma'am, different political parties and leaders often get allegations.
Yeah,
against
they say allegation against the other leaders,
opposite
parties. Okay, next point, Lynette.
They create a sense of disunity and fractionalism.
Yes, they create a sense of disunity or factionalism in the society. Advait, anything else? Sometimes. Anjana, do you know? Lynette.
Some people from political parties often use dirty tricks to win.
Yeah, dirty tricks to win the elections. That also there. Adikesh.
Electoral fights does not allow sensible long-term policies.
Yeah, sometimes they are not able to take long-term policies for the country. That is one thing. Surya, last one. Anything else?
Ma'am, the political competition may cause divisions.
Yeah, divisions. One more thing is that sometimes good people are there who wants to serve the country. They feel very bad to enter in this political competition. They feel that unnecessarily there is competition. Maybe because of unnecessary competition, lot of violence is happening. So because of that reason, some people, they actually want to serve the country. They never enter this particular area or political arena. So these were the points which we discussed yesterday. Now next few more things are including in this particular topic. It's not about the demerits, it's about what are the, if there is political competition, what should be done or how the people should behave after that. That is the next topic. Okay. So our constitution makers, they were very much aware of these problems of this political competition. But at the same time, they know very well, or they feel that our leaders will do always only good for the people. Why they are always doing good for the people? There is a reason for that I'll tell you. Before that, sometimes, the political leaders, when they are a part of government, what they feel that they will be very ambitious, right? So if we are working in one area, we always will have an ambition that we should get higher posts than that. Yes, like that, political leaders also, they are motivated by their political career. They always wanted to get a higher post, or they wanted to get more power. They wanted to remain in power, or they want to have some positions for themselves. Okay, so because of this reason, our constitution makers, they are telling that by being in power or to remain in power, the political leaders will do good for the people. Okay, so this is one idea what our constitution makers are telling. You know that the political leaders, they are always motivated by what? Improvement in their career. What is that improvement in their career? They wanted to remain in power. They wanted to get power, or they want to get some positions for themselves. They don't want to lose that. Okay, so not to lose the power, not to lose the position, what they will do? They will do good for the people. Okay, if their ideas are not matching with the people, what will happen? What can happen?
They will be changed in the
Next
next election.
They will be changed.
They discredit.
Okay. Yes, next election, they may not be there in the rule or in the government. So that is what we say. The political leaders will be rewarded if they are doing good, will be punished if they are not doing good for the people. What punishment will be that? What will be that punishment? Political
They won't be in
leaders.
power.
Yeah, they won't be in power. That is a punishment for them, because they wanted to be in power, but they are not they are not there as a part of the government. Why? Because people will not elect that particular person if he is not doing good for the people. So that's a punishment. What is the reward now?
They will be
To
in
be
power.
in power.
Yeah, next election also, they will come to power, or they will be rewarded, or they will be a part of government. So in the real life situation, what happens? We cannot say that political competition is bad. Political competition will help the functioning of a country in a proper manner. How it is functioning in a proper manner? Because the political leaders, if they are functioning properly, they will be rewarded. Otherwise, what will happen? They will be punished there. Okay, so punishment in the sense, those who are not getting elected in the next election, it is a punishment for them, because always a political leader wants to be in power. So this is what electoral competition does. Okay, so we say that political competition is good for a particular country, even though it has so many drawbacks. It is good for a country. Regularly, the electoral competition should be there. So that is an encouragement for the politicians. If there is no election at regular basis, what will happen? There is no encouragement. They can do whatever they want. So if they know very well that if they want to be in power, they should bring the ideas, or they should solve the problems of the people. whatever problems the people are having, whatever problems the people are raising, if it is solved by the leaders, their popularity, chances of victory will be increased in the next election. But at the same time, if we are not able to make these voters happy, what will happen? What
They
will
be
happen?
changed in the next election.
Yes, they will not be able to win again at all. So they know this very well. So automatically, how they will behave?
They will serve the people.
Yeah, they will serve the people and try to get more votes. So that's why they say that electoral competition, even though it has some drawbacks, it will work properly in a country, because if they want to be in power, they have to serve the people. What is a great motivation here?
If they serve the people, they will be rewarded.
Yes.
If they do not, they will be punished.
They will be punished. What is that reward? They can
Rule or
remain in power.
power.
Okay, now this a comparison is given here. We are going to a shop. Okay, you know that shopkeeper is, there are different shops. So when we go to a shop, and one more thing, a shopkeeper always, he wants to get more and more money, right? That is the business mentality of every shopkeeper. Yes or no?
Yes.
Everyone, they wants to make money, as much money they want to, or everyone, they wanted to make profit. Now here, when we are going to a shop, you go there and you are asking for things. When you are asking for things, that person is not taking care of you. He is not listening. Maybe after 10 times, he will come. After 10 minutes, he is coming and asking you. Then that for taking the things, he is taking a lot of time. Then what will happen?
We won't come to the shop.
Yeah, we will not prefer to go to that particular shop. What we will do?
Another shop.
Yeah, we will try to find another shop where we are served better, right? You go there, you ask the things, you give fast, or they even how they behave, that all things we see actually. Okay, so what happens? The political leaders are also seem like that. Okay, if they want, if they are motivated, they have a motivation what they want to remain in the power. Yes, they want to be powerful, or they want to be a part of government. If they want to be a part of government, or if they want to be in power, what they should do? What they should do? They should
Serve the people.
serve the people. Okay, even if they don't like, they should serve the people. So that is what, sometimes they may not like it. They may don't want to do anything. But if they are not doing anything, people will not elect him in the next election. So that's what we say. Even if that person doesn't like to serve, he is forced to serve the people. Then only he can remain in power. So these are the few important things related to electoral competition. And next is about Indian election, whether Indian elections, whether it is democratic or not. Just let us see this video once more.
Every 5 years, the Lok Sabha and the Vidhan Sabha are dissolved. And people,
Do we have regular elections in our country? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. After every, how many years?
5 years.
Every
years.
5 years. Okay. Now we have elections to Lok Sabha and we have elections to Vidhan Sabha also. Now what is this Vidhan Sabha?
Rajya Sabha.
Huh?
Rajya Sabha.
Rajya Sabha.
Vidhan Sabha. What is Vidhan Sabha? What is assembly?
Legislative Assembly.
Yes, legislative assembly. Where do we see this legislative assembly?
Every states.
Every state. Okay, so we have elections to be conducted for Lok Sabha and for the assembly. That means to the center also we have election. To the states also we have election. So every 5 years, we can see that to the assembly and to the Lok Sabha, we have election. Okay. Now, after every 5 years, you can see that it stands dissolved. What do you mean by it stands dissolved? Dissolved means what here? Why it is getting dissolved? What is the reason? The term of office is for how many years? How many years they can rule?
5 years.
5 years.
5 years.
Okay. After 5 years, they cannot continue there. They have to dissolve. They have to go from there. Okay. Then what happens? Elections will be there, held at all the constituencies. Maybe at the same time or within a few days, it will be conducted. That kind of elections, we call it as general election. Okay. So what do you mean by general election? In the sense, elections when we conduct after 5 years for the Lok Sabha and the assembly, that election we call it as general election. Got it, everyone? So after the 5 years, after the term of office, when we conduct elections to Lok Sabha and the state assembly, that we call it as a general election. Sometimes what happens, maybe in one constituency, we have to conduct election. The reason may be that particular minister or person who won from that particular constituency might have died, or sometimes gave the resignation, maybe because of ill health, medical, because of some disease, that person might have given resignation. So they have to conduct election. That election we call it as by-election. Okay, sometimes we have to conduct the election. Why we have to conduct the election? Because of death of a person, or sometimes the person might have resigned from the post. To fill that gap, resigned from the post in the sense, you know, that now no one is there in that particular post, or died means now no one is there in that particular post. So to fill the gap, they will conduct election. That election we call it as by-election. Okay, so you understood what is general election and what do you mean by by-election. Adleo, what is by-election?
Ma'am, the election is done in a single constituency when the representative of that constituency dies or resigns.
Gave resignation. So whenever any person dies or gave resignation, only in that particular constituency, when we conduct the election, we call it as by-election. Okay. Shridev, what do you mean by general election?
Elections which are held regularly after 5 years.
5 years. In all the constituencies, it will be conducted. That will be called as general election. Now I'll show that video.
Sometimes
by electoral constituencies. Okay. Now, have you seen how we are conducting the elections? Do you know how we are doing? Is it, are we doing according to district base or anything like that? When the elections it was conducted, have you noticed how are we doing the elections? Is it that in district wise are we doing the election? Is it like that? How it is? Any idea? Anyone? Just before one election was there, right? In that election, the whole Thrissur had one leader. Was it like that? Yes or no? No. How was it?
So many years.
Yeah, Thrissur itself, you can see that different areas were there where different people are standing. Yes or no? So here,
Yes.
Yeah, in our country, how are we following this area that is based on system of representation? System of representation in the sense according to the population. Okay, how many people are living in one particular area? We divide that into different constituencies. On the basis of that, we are deciding this population or representation. We are dividing the constituencies. Okay, this way. Okay, then bye everyone. We'll continue in the next class. Okay. Okay, bye.
Okay, ma'am. Bye,
Okay,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. See you soon, ma'am. Bye, bye.
Yeah.